You know, lawmakers under the aegis of the Concerned Federal Lawmakers for Peace and Security in the Southeast, spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, have appealed to President Bola Tinubu to invoke Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution as amended and Section 1071 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 to release the detained leader of the proscribed Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, from the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS. The 50 lawmakers elected on the platform of different political parties believe the presidential gesture would engender peace in the troubled southeast region of the country. Peace cannot be kept by force, but by understanding, Emeka.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's good, you know, because you cannot continue to hold on to one person, Nnamdi Kanu, while different elements, you know, are freely moving about, causing destruction. Exactly a week today, you know, I lost a member of my extended family to this unknown gunmen. You know, they were in an exchange of fire with vigilantes. And this young lady, her bride price had been paid just for the wedding ceremonies to take place. And she was shot. Wow. They killed her. Another little boy in my extended family, his intestines boiled out. Thank God he was taken to the hospital. Surgery has been done successfully. And he's, you know, responding to treatment. Yeah. They went somewhere. People who were going on there, they just shot them, killed another person. Why? Why would people just be able to move freely and just open fire as if you are killing? You can't even kill animals like that. People will raise, people will raise eyebrows. Now why? We just go about and just be shooting lizards or, you know, animals like that. I support what they have said. The time has come for us to take every measure that we can, you know, outside of just using force.
But let me add quickly, Nnamdi Kanu had dissociated himself from the madness that's going on.
Yeah, Nnamdi Kanu said no more sit at home.
He said no more sit at home.
Nnamdi Kanu said that nobody should kill anybody. That you know, it's the people of the Southeast who are even suffering the most. That you are making widows out of young wives.
Sorry, but the story is not helped by the activities of that guy in Finland, Simon.
Yeah, you can neutralize. You have Nnamdi Kanu with you. You know, like they say, charity begins at home. Let's deal with the one we are holding. When you can work things out with him, let's see how we work out at least peace in the Southeast. Then the man out there, you know, that one, when we get to that bridge, we'll know how to cross it. But let's sort out the one we have so that, you see, there can be peace in the Southeast. The situation is really horrible.
Asuko, the talk around the country is about a political solution to the Nnamdi Kanu story.
Yeah, and I think that should be... It should be on the table, because I know last week also the lawyer was saying something about negotiating, you know, out of court. He muted that to the judge, and the judge was saying it's not in my hands. Go and meet the AGF, you know, to discuss that, you know. So if they are thinking about that, it means they really want that political solution to the matter, you know. And if he agrees with the political solution, the FG should look at it. It should be based on their terms. Don't forget that you also joined Bill in 2017. So that is still going to be fresh in the memory of the FG. So for the political solution, I will agree with it. Let him go there. Let him negotiate. Even though Nnamdi Kanu didn't come out plainly to say it on camera. But his lawyer is also muting that idea. And I think if the lawyer brings it to him,
he would have sounded Nnamdi out.
If he brings it to him and said, "Guy, let's just take this, you know, solution, so that we'll leave this Abuja and go back to our region and bring peace to the region." Because it is, whether you like or you don't, citizen, that particular crisis in the southeast region is affecting most of everybody around.
Yeah.
Even if you are going to the south too, sometimes you will be afraid not to go on a Monday because you don't know what you will meet.
Yeah.
You know, because you cross through Owerri, you cross to Anambra before you get to, you know, to the south.
Emeka, but you know, this thing is a two-way street. My people would say, while you talk to the hawk that steals chicks, you must talk to the mother hen to keep the chicks away. So Nnamdi must play ball too.
Well, at least
if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I understand. But you see, yes, he was on bail, but the federal government still sent soldiers to his house, and he had to flee for his life. Somebody is on bail, and you still went after him. What did you expect him to do? To wait for you to kill him? That was number one. Error number one. Then number two, you went all the way to Kenya and renditioned him illegally. Error number two. Then the situation continues to worsen. What are you gaining? The chief of defense was talking of going to bring Simon Ekpa. You brought in Nnamdi Kanu. Has the situation changed? The situation has not improved. So the best thing is for you to do things properly.
But there's this issue of some unscrupulous guys taking advantage.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
When the nature abhors a vacuum, you have criminal elements who just look for opportunities.
No, as they say, society prepares the crime, the criminal
commits it. Yeah, so they don't look for opportunities, you know, to commit crimes. You have cultists and different kinds of dangerous elements. Don't forget the prison break, you know, where some of those inmates have not been found till today. And then other jailbreaks in different parts of the country. So when you put all of those things together, Nnamdi Kanu has come out to say that, yes, he is ready to help ensure that peace, you know, security return to the southeast. Of course, if somebody with you, you should work out terms with him, because if you insist on trial, it will just keep going. You just keep going around from Federal High Court to Appeal Court to Supreme Court back again. And this thing is at the expense of the state. You're spending state resources.
Yeah.
But if you can work out a political solution in such a way that benefits everybody, you know, it's a win-win for Nigerians. So it is better to look at it, you know, and say, okay, let's sit down. The Attorney General of the Federation calling, you know, the other side, and they look into things, and then maybe inviting governors, prominent politicians, traditional rulers, religious leaders from Southeast, and they sit down. How can we work something out? Sit down with Nnamdi Kanu, work things out. He's no more a child.
Because I think that
that's
a very valid point, because the traditional rulers, men of influential men in the Southeast, they need to be involved in any negotiation whatsoever, so that if anything wants to happen, we will know who we are going to hold accountable.
Yes.
You know, because we just need that. I keep saying it. We need that peace in the Southeast.
Oh yes.
Because if we are spending money, we are spending money fighting internal wars.
Yeah.
And so I keep saying we are fighting internal
wars more.
You know, more.
Asukwa and Emeka, if peace returns to the southeast, the South as a whole would heave a heavy sigh of relief.
Exactly.
In fact, the entire country.
You know?
Okay.
Because, you know, you have many, there are many Nigerians, you know, from different places who live and work in the Southeast. They live and work in the South. Some even own property, own businesses. You know, there are some businesses actually in the Southeast that you'll be surprised are being run by non-Igbos. Yes. For instance, look at Onitsha Business School. It was founded and it's being run by a Yoruba man. It's teaching Igbo traders how to do business in the modern way. There are things like that. So the thing is that Nigeria, we are diverse. And we are one. You know, we blend into each other.
That diversity should be exploited for advantage.
Yes, for positive. You live anywhere, you know, you should work to develop that area, build that area. Then others stay in your own area, in your village, they do the same thing. It should be, scratch my back, I scratch your back. We should be able to build a country where anybody can stay, live and do business, go to school anywhere, without let or hindrance. That is what will build this nation.
That was why the NYSC came on board.
Came on board.
So you can go to school, then they'll move you to another place. But I also like the fact that the 50 lawmakers is not just from one particular session.
Oh, yeah.
It cuts across this geopolitical zone.
Yes.
Meaning that...
And political parties.
And political parties. So meaning that they are all looking at, we need that piece, this to be done with. Anything that concerns Nnamdi Kanu. Because they were signatories to it.
Yeah.
They sent the letter to the president and say, sir, let's look at this. Just invoke this section 173 and 74, or
interestingly,
for him to be able to look at it and see how they can do it outside, going to the court and,
interestingly, Mr. President is a listening man.
No, of course, he listens.
It has got to a point where
he has
they have to listen.
As father figure.
They have to listen.
I tell you for free, if the president looks at this and then begins to consider the political solution and Nnamdi Kanu is freed, it's going to be one of the biggest legacies of this administration.
And of course, Emeka, if you release Nnamdi Kanu today, those taking his absence to advantage will look for something else to do.
Of course, because if you say you've been fighting, killing people because Nnamdi Kanu was doing that.
So what else do you want to?
What are you? I mean, what are you looking for? Like there's this proverb, from somewhere in Delta that says that you became king, and you are still making charms. Do you want to become God? You are making charms to become king. You became king. You are still making charms. You want to become God. So the thing is this: what the man you said you are fighting for his release is out. So
in fact, that is when the federal government can now go all out for those who are still having these guns.
The so-called
unknown government. So you can now deal with them.
Known.
Yes, and then I believe our problems really can be resolved through dialogue, through negotiation. Issues of injustice, fairness and equity and all of that. These things can be resolved not, from the nozzle of a gun, but, through roundtable discussions, through negotiations, and, give a little and I take a little, like that. That way we'll build a better nation. Because honestly, over the years, there are things that have really spawned some of these problems, but we have the opportunity to resolve them. And let's bite the bullet.
At least for once.
For once.
Okay, gentlemen, that will just about do it, but not before thanking Asupo James for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And Emeka Madunago for
Thank you very much.